All right, the Sort of Sports Podcast, episode 209. And you may have clicked on this episode and thought, Ryan, that's an exaggeration. There's no way you watched the greatest basketball game of all time. But if you tuned into that, you know that it might have been. It truly might have been. Victor Wembanyama last night took the Oklahoma City Thunder, a team that at some points this playoffs has felt unbeatable. A team that hasn't lost a playoff game so far until last night. Took them to double OT and put up a stat line that doesn't even seem real. 41 points, 24 rebounds, 3 blocks, 3 assists, 1 steal. 41 points and 24 rebounds. And lest we forget, Dylan Harper put up 24 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, and 7 steals. Youngest player to ever have a 4x5 game, which is four stats with 5+ in each. I think it's a playoff game. Youngest player to ever have a 4x5 playoff game. As you guys can see, if you're watching the video, I'm in my Victor Wembanyama shirt, a shirt that I ordered the night he was drafted. As soon as Fanatics put him on sale, I bought it because you guys know from the jump, I've been a Victor Wembanyama guy. Because I was like, there's no point hating this guy. There's a chance he goes on to be the greatest player of all time. I might as well have fun with it. I might as well enjoy it. So I bought the shirt. I've been supporting him ever since. And I had said for a while that there was going to be a day we all woke up, and it was going to be faster than we ever thought it'd be. But Victor Wembanyama was the best player in the league. Thought it'd probably happen about year 4 or 5. And from then on, for the next 10 to 15 years, he'd be the best player in the league. He was just going to be that good. And at the first game of this year, I thought this might be the moment. When he was absolutely killing the Mavericks. First game of the season for him. Do you remember that? When he hit that reverse dunk and everybody was going crazy. Felt like we weren't there yet, but we were very close. He was a step ahead of where everyone thought he was going to be. Including me, a guy who said, it's going to be earlier than you think, so be ready. On that night, I placed a $1 bet and the Spurs win the finals. $1 to win $41. That bet has excellent value at the moment, for what it's worth. But the bigger point here is, last night might have been the game. Because Victor Wembanyama, down 3 with 35 seconds to go, shot a 3 that was closer to the logo than it was the three-point line. To which I screamed, what the fuck? Because I didn't understand what he was doing. And then I screamed it again as he drained it. It shouldn't be happening. The dude might be 7'7". He's listed as 7'4". We all know he's taller. He might be 7'7", and he hit a Curry shot. The same spot that Steph Curry hit that 3 over the Thunder. Same spot. And he's 7'7". There's a real chance this guy goes on to be the greatest player of all time. He's 22 years old. Okay? And LeBron won his first ring at 27. MJ won his first ring at 27. You guys know I predicted the Spurs to win the finals. But it's scary to watch it happen. Because I don't know how the league really stops him. He is too good. It's incredible to watch. And I'm just saying, what's going to go on is, eventually everybody's going to start hating him, right? Right now it's fun, because everybody wants to see Wemby beat the Thunder. Everybody doesn't like the Thunder. Everybody wants to see Wemby win. But after, 4 or 5 years, when he's like a 3-time champion, 2-time MVP, 4-time Defensive Player of the Year, people are not going to be rooting for Wemby anymore. They're going to be sick of him. They're going to see him as a villain, all that stuff. I'm not going to be that guy. I'm going to root for this dude his whole career, because this guy's awesome. Absolutely awesome. So you guys can hold me to my word. We'll see if I still feel that way in 5 years. But I truly believe this guy might end up being the greatest player of all time. And I don't think it's an exaggeration. because the fact that he's that good at that young of an age is absurd. And he also is one of the tallest NBA players in history. And he's that good at that young of an age. I've said it before, and I think there's a real chance that this is what it's going to be. He might just be the Shohei of basketball, where he just kind of breaks everything we know before, and it's like, here's everybody else, and here's Wemby. And like, one of the most popular things to discuss with the NBA is who's the greatest player of all time, the Jordan-LeBron debate. And if Wemby comes in and tears it up, the NBA is going to have to rethink how they sell the product, because the GOAT debate is a big part of how they sell the product. And you're like, Ryan, this was one basketball game. They could get blasted next game. I understand this, but if you watched that game last night, you know what I'm talking about. Double overtime. Wemby had a career. I mean, that's not just a career game. That's going to be a game we always remember. If he goes on to have the career I think he's going to have, this will be the game where everybody's like, wow, that was the one. Everybody tuned in. Monday night on NBC, who still does the best coverage of the NBA. Prime is second, and then easily ESPN is third. NBC does the best job of presenting. Mike Tirico on the call, that was fun. I mean, he literally posed in front of the bench, just hands on his shoulders looking like this, and they went bananas. It was absurd. Yeah, Victor Wembanyama is just the truth. There's no doubt in my mind. And I love Cooper Flag, and, you know, I love all these young guys we have right now, but I feels like it's going to be Wemby, and then Coop might be the second best player in the league, and maybe like Ant's third. Maybe DeBonsa's going to be that good. Who knows who the third guy's going to be. Maybe Conkanipple be the third guy, but if Wemby can stay healthy, guys, he's going to be the guy. And I should even say if Wemby could stay healthy, because so far, I mean, the big thing going into the series was, can Wemby play a lot of minutes? And they went to double overtime, and he had 41 points. So he played a shitload of minutes, and it was incredible. Like, also, he just plays with a rage and a fire that I love. Like, he literally trucked Alex Caruso in this game in a crucial moment. It's like the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. And he trucks out Caruso. It was either fourth quarter or overtime. I can't remember, because it's blended together a little bit. He trucked Alex Caruso. It was a charge, and he like laughed it off. I'm like, that could have cost you the game. It was a huge moment. He just laughed it off. Like, he did it on purpose. He plays with a rage and a pettiness, but he's so good he makes up for it. I mean, Stephon Castle had like 11 turnovers. I'm not saying like 11 turnovers. He had 11 turnovers, period, point blank. I'll check right now. Stephon Castle, let's look at his numbers right now. Yeah, he had 11 turnovers. It's a bad Stephon Castle game. Sure, he had 17 points, but 11 turnovers is bad. Doesn't matter. Just frankly doesn't matter. And then obviously the big one, I mean, we saw Alex Caruso play the best game of his career. 31 points, and he was guarding Wemby. And you're like, well, Wemby had 41 points. At some point, Alex Caruso is about a foot shorter than him. So, you know. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had 24 points. I'm going to tell you right now, everybody that watched that game was not impressed the way Shai Gilgeous-Alexander played. That is just the truth of the matter. I think the MVP being given to him made Wemby play better. And he even said that. He said it was personal after the game. He's just got a pettiness and an anger and a psychopathy to him that you need to be one of the greats, and he's got it. I mean, dude trained with monks over the summer. It's absurd. What else do I have to say about Victor Wembanyama? It just felt like there's always a special feeling in sports when you feel like you're watching something that you're going to always remember. Just one of those games that you'll never forget. And last night was one of those. Truly. And it felt like if the Spurs just beat this Thunder team, they're going to win the finals. And then it's everyone on the planet will know who Wemby is. Right now, everybody knows basketball, knows who Victor Wembanyama is, right? But, like, my grandmother knows who LeBron is. She doesn't know who Victor Wembanyama is. At this trajectory, she's going to know who Victor Wembanyama is within the next couple months. And the thing is, this is the worst the Spurs are going to be for the next 10 years. And here they are. So, absolutely incredible game. And obviously, the argument against this not being the greatest basketball game of all time is Game 7 Cavs-Warriors. And that's a great point. It's like those are probably the two best games I've ever watched. So, and this is a super hyped up Western Conference Finals, probably the most hyped up playoff series, I would say, since the 2018 Rockets-Warriors. And Bill Simmons said that on his show, and I agree. 2018 Rockets-Warriors, James Harden, Chris Paul versus Steph, KD, Clay, Draymond, that team. That's the most hyped up series before this. And then, obviously, like 2017 Finals, 2016 Finals were also super hyped up. I'm not saying there weren't better series. Like, for example, I think, the 2020 Finals was a really good Finals. It was not as hyped up, right? This being Wemby versus Shea, two of the top MVP candidates, people want to see how good can Wemby do in his first playoff run. And if in his first playoff run he wins the Finals, just next level. It's just absolutely next level. On a different note, the Sabres lost in overtime. I was confused because I don't watch hockey much. I didn't know it was sudden death OT. So the Canadians scored, and I was like, they can still get a... And then it put up on the screen final, and the announcer said for the Canadians win, and I was like, oh. So that was brutal. That was a tough one. That was a tough pill to swallow. Yeah, I didn't enjoy that one. But another thing I wanted to touch upon is I messed up in yesterday's pod. I listed off the teams I thought were going to get Giannis, and I said the Hawks, the Warriors, and Timberwolves. I think the Celtics are getting him. I don't know why I didn't say that. I don't know why that left my mind. I literally have a video I've already filmed on my phone. It's going to be a video on my Instagram and TikTok that's basically me saying I think the Celtics make the most sense. They can move Jaylen Brown. The Bucks don't have their pick next year, so this lets them be good next year. Jaylen Brown gets his own team. Giannis fits well with Jason Tatum. Let's roll. I think that's a team that's going to get Giannis. I don't know why that completely slipped my mind yesterday. I guess I was that messed up over the Pistons loss. And now you're like, Ryan, you're wearing a Spurs shirt and you moved on. Pistons are still my guys. I want to see this guy become the greatest player of all time. And seems like it might be in the cards. So if you're not watching Spurs Thunder, you got to watch every game of this. Like this is what you dream of when it comes to NBA basketball. And we have Spurs Thunder playing again Wednesday night. Tonight we have Cavs Knicks, and it's going to be really hard to enjoy that when I just watched what felt like, it just felt special, You have that with movies sometimes too. When you go and see a movie and you're like, I'm watching something that's going to be considered a classic. I remember when I went and saw Dune Part 2, and the moment when they do the float thing, they floating, and early on when they're hunting the Paul Atreides and all of the, oh my gosh, I can't remember what their names are. It's not the Bene Gesserit. The people, Fremen, the Fremen, hunting him in the Fremen, and they start to float. It was in the first 10 minutes. That was when I was like, oh, okay. What other movies I have that with? Top Gun Maverick, The Batman. 2025 is probably the closest I've gotten to 2022 as far as two movies that were just... Because Top Gun Maverick and Batman in 1 year were whew. And then, obviously, 2025 we had Superman and F1. It's kind of the inverse, right? Joseph Kosinski, and then instead of Batman, it was Superman. So, no wonder I was happy. But next year, we get Batman Part 2 and Miami Vice. I think it's 85 is what it is. So, yeah. Okay, that was really it. I needed to document this because this last night was... Every single sports radio, sports talk show, every single podcast should be talking about what last night was. A double overtime game. In game one, it was absolutely incredible. And if I'm the Thunder, I'm scared. Because it's like, we got set up to be this dynasty. But you don't have Victor Wembanyama. And I'd love to see Cooper Flagg have as great of a career as I think he can. But at some point, he doesn't have Victor Wembanyama. And I don't understand how good is this guy going to be. Because last night, he shot that shit from basically the logo. It was a terrible shot. Why would you shoot that down 3 with 35 seconds to go? And he drained it. I don't know what to say. You shouldn't be doing that at that height. You shouldn't be doing that at that age. You shouldn't be doing that in general. Unless you're Steph Curry, you're not shooting that. Even then, it's a crazy shot. And he just knew he was going to make it. I don't know. It's like he flipped a switch after the elbow. Because he was playing good, and then he got ejected for elbowing Naz Reid. And since then, he's been on another level. It's like he needs to get a little pissed off to play at that next level. Because they lose that game to the Blazers while he's out. He comes back, they don't lose another game. He elbows Naz Reid, they don't lose another game. So now it's like he just hates Chet Holmgren. So there's no way they sweep the Thunder. There's no way. Like, there's just no way. If he did, somehow, I don't even know what I'd say. It shouldn't happen, though. The Thunder will probably win the next game. It feels like there's no way they don't. It's just, he's incredible. I remember watching him. I tuned in for a couple of his games in France. He played for like the 90, I think then it was like Mets 92 was his team name or whatever. I was like, this guy's going to be good. And even me, who hyped him up a shitload, was like, oh, well, you know, like Scoot Henderson could also be really good. Scoot Henderson isn't even in the same galaxy as Victor Wembanyama. I don't even know who is. It's, like I said, if this guy had this ability, even at 6'11", it'd be absurd. But he's over 7'5". I don't know, man. It's, when they decided to nickname him the Alien, perfect. It's just tough, too. Like, when the NBC broadcast was messing up last night, somebody tweeted out, said, like, anybody else here, Wemby's home planet, trying to contact him. It's good shit. It's just good shit. That's all it is. We had the age of parody, and Wemby might have ended it. Dude might just rip off, like, nobody's three-peated since Kobe and Shaq. I just want to throw that out there. And you're like, Ryan, these not even won his first ring yet. Just pointing it out. Just want to keep everybody in mind. So, okay. I think that's it from me. Every fan base should be terrified, unless you're a Spurs fan. If so, you should thank God every day. And probably Adam Silver, because he rigs the lottery. So, all right, that's it from me. I will see you all in the next one. Not sure when it'll be. It's going to depend on how crazy this Spurs Thunder series gets. If he goes up 3-0, I'm recording a pod instantly. Like, just to be like, what? Like, it's just insane. Okay. I was actually elated last night. Like, I was on another level. It was incredible to watch. He has overtaken Jokic as my favorite player to watch. Truly. He's incredible. Absolutely incredible. Okay. That's it. I'll see you on the next one. Quick one here, but it was needed.